Hi, I'm U.S. Attorney Janine Ferris-Pirro, and keeping D.C. safe and beautiful remains our top priority. This week we made significant strides toward that goal, so here's a recap of the cases handled. Sentences of note. A 26-year-old man previously convicted in 2021 for carrying a pistol without a license relating to a car shootout has been sentenced to 198 months in prison. He was the gunman who conspired with two Walgreens store managers to rob the store 7 times. Their crime spree ended when a special police officer shot him as he was leaving the store manager's office carrying a bag full of stolen cash. And a 28-year-old convicted kidnapper and killer who was already serving a life sentence got an additional 46 months jail time for trying to smuggle contraband into the jail, specifically a knife, fentanyl, and cell phones. And a 23-year-old received 9 years in prison for a series of armed carjackings and robberies. This man and his accomplice carjacked 3 vehicles, robbed a food delivery man and 3 construction workers in a crime spree that took place in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And a 22-year-old man was sentenced to 24.5 years in prison for killing 21-year-old Demetrius Johnson and shooting another male while at a gender reveal party. The argument between the shooter and his victims was apparently unrelated to the reveal party and occurred within 30 minutes of the defendant shooter arriving at the party. Now charges and arrests. A 50-year-old woman was arrested and charged with making death threats to President Trump on her social media accounts. She stated in a Facebook post, "I am willing to sacrificially kill this POTUS by disemboweling him and cutting out his trachea." She then drove from New York to D.C., where she was arrested by Secret Service. 2 men, both 32 years old, were indicted for firing over 15 rounds of ammunition into a residential neighborhood in D.C., ultimately shooting their intended victim. And today marks 100 days since I took office as U.S. Attorney for D.C. We have been focused on fighting crime and making criminals accountable. My office has seized or recovered more than $238 million in forfeiture cases, including the largest ever cryptocurrency seizure totaling over $225 million. Dozens of drug seizures, including millions of dollars in drugs seized, and our gang takedowns continue, including 2 Wellington Park gang members who were sentenced to 50 and 72 years, respectively, in prison for the murder of 10-year-old Micaiah Wilson, as well as a 21st in Vietnam crew recently sentenced for fentanyl drug trafficking and shooting. And a $5 million reward continues for the arrest of Haitian gang leader Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier, whose gangs were involved in the murder of 71 Haitians and the rape of women and the burning of more than 400 homes in the La Saline massacre in Haiti. We deal with the pain and the trauma that victims experience at the hands of criminals. Our job is to represent you, and as shown here, my office will go to every length to uncover criminal acts, prove them in court, and hold the offenders accountable.